Writing blog posts really does not need to be difficult. However, the problem that most people have, especially when you're writing a blog post as a beginner, is we are all over the place. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to write the perfect blog post manually, and then I'm going to show you the lazy boy method and do it automatically as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you leave a like and stay tuned. So if you want to write a really good blog post, you've got to start off with a very simple structure. And to do that, we really need to do things in a specific order. And the order that I like to do things is always starting off with the title. You see, starting off with a title gives you basically the whole angle of your blog post. The title is really important because it tells people in one line what it is your blog post is about. So if we start off with, hey, what is the title of this blog post, then it's going to become a lot easier to keep everything in harmony and make sure that everything's on the right track and staying congruent. It could also be the very thing that's also going to give us more inspiration as we go on. Let's head over to my screen and have a look at an example of a title. Okay, so just a very simple example of a title can be something on the lines of 5 ways to cheat on your English exam. And I just want to point out that you may notice when you're scrolling online and doing your research that a lot of very successful blog posts contain a number, and the reason they contain a number is just because people for some reason like seeing a number in a title. So if you're writing about something and you're able to incorporate the number inside a title, the chances are it's going to increase your clicks, which, let's face it, is really important just to get people reading. So try and incorporate a number in your title and you will be on a much better path to creating something a little bit more engaging that people are actually going to want to click on. So again, 5 ways to cheat on your English exam. The next thing that you kind of want to think about as well, which a lot of people don't often talk about, is the tone of the blog post. You see, is it going to be witty? Is it going to be bold? Is it going to be sarcastic? Is it going to be fun, exciting, professional? You kind of need to decide, hey, how do I want to come across to people? And this is something that a lot of people do tend to overlook. Now, a lot of the time, I like to be assertive with my blog creation, and that's purely because I like the self-confidence that assertiveness communicates with people. So I tend to write my style in assertiveness, but you kind of just want to write down very simply tone and then assertive. And what you're going to notice is the more we fill out this document with kind of like guidelines for the blog post, the faster, the easier, and the simpler this blog post is going to be when it actually comes to writing. Okay, so the next thing that you want to do is kind of give yourself maybe up to 600 characters just to give like an outline or the general idea of what this blog post is actually going to be about. You see, if you can summarize the entire blog post in less than 600 characters, again, when it comes to filling it out, it's just going to keep you on track. It's really very easy to digress when you start writing because you get sudden spurts of information, or you see something online and you're like, oh, let's change the direction, when that's actually one of the worst things you can do. Ideally, you want to finish your blog post and then have a read and decide, is this ready to publish or do I want to add more in? So creating that general idea of what that blog post is about is really just going to help streamline the whole process for you. But let's head over to my screen and see what I'm talking about. So as you can see here, I've simply just done a general idea and what this blog post is about. So I know that my title is 5 ways to cheat on your English exam. So the general idea is going to be help lazy people cheat on English exams so they can pass with flying colours and spend more time relaxing rather than revising on endless English mock papers. Do you see how simple that was? Just something very short, very to the point, and now that hopefully that one little line, that little paragraph of text, which is just to be used for myself, or you can actually use it in your blog post, is going to be the thing that's going to kind of structure the rest of this blog post. So now we've created a title, we've decided what the tone is, we've now given a general idea of what this blog post is going to be about, But now it's time to get writing. And I've always found that when you try to tackle a big idea all at once, it's going to be a lot more challenging than breaking that idea down. Okay, so this is why we have headings, so we can break down the overall topic into smaller areas, and then we can simply use those headings to create paragraphs of text underneath it. This way it doesn't get too boring, and we can keep focus about the message just from that title or that heading that we want to communicate with our readers. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So what you can see here is very simply I've created 5 headings. So heading 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then I've created what the title or what that section is going to be about. This is really what's going to be the heading for this section. So read before you act, create keywords, importance of a vocabulary book, take time to understand, and highlight information. Okay, so each one of those things is going to be a heading, and that is what we are going to be writing under. That one section is going to help us just divide this blog post into multiple areas, and before we know it, we're going to have, even if we do, let's say 300 words under each of these headings, well, what's that? That's going to be 300, 600, 900, 1200, and 1500 words, all because we were able to divide these into sections. So all of a sudden you've taken that big challenge, that huge mountain of an overall idea, and we've now just divided it into little sections. And if we give ourselves a task of just 300 words per little heading, we're going to be able to create a blog post in no time at all. Finally, at the end of the blog post, you just need to put your conclusion, which is really simple. You just simply take the headings of that page and you say, in this blog post, I have covered, and then you just say this, 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 and this, and there you have it. You have been able to create a blog post in next to no time at all. Really easy, and if you follow it this way, you are going to stay on track the whole way through. Okay, so now that we've done the manual process, I want to show you how I create blog posts and how I do it almost automatically using AI tech to create all of these blog posts in a matter of like 2 minutes. Okay, so let me show you this whole process that I've just walked you through and apply this lazy boy method. Now, just before we start, if at any point you want to try this software out before risking your money, head over to trialjarvis.com, go ahead and click on this button here, and upon registration, it will give you 10,000 free credits. In other words, it will give you try before you buy. I am a massive believer that you should always be able to try a software before you invest our hard-earned money, and visiting trialjarvis.com will do just that for you. Okay, so here I am in this copywriting software, and this is where things get really exciting. And if I'm smiling the whole way through, excuse it, I'm just a big nerd of good tools. So here I am, and the first thing I'm going to do is click on long form assistant and then click long form assistant again. Now this is where we tell the software, hey, this is what I want you to write about for us, or start creating text in this way. Okay, so describe what you want to create. Go ahead and copy that general idea that we created previously and paste it in like so. And if you know anything about SEO, you can write content along the lines of SEO, but that's for another day. So let's go ahead and click continue. And now for the title, well, I already know what title I want, so I'm just going to paste it in there. But if you don't know your title yet, go ahead and click generate ideas, and now you can see you've got all of these ideas, but I'm just going to go ahead and use this one. Next, if you don't already have an intro paragraph, just go ahead and click the generate ideas. Okay, and now you can see it's giving you a few ideas, but let's just start off with this one there. Who needs to study for their English exam when they can just cheat? This is the question that many lazy people ask themselves, and with this blog post you will have no excuse not to pass. Here are 5 ways you can cheat on your English exam so that you can spend more time relaxing than revising endless mock papers. Okay, do you see how how good that intro actually is. I'm just going to go ahead and select that one and click Open Editor. Okay, so now here we are in the Open Editor, and the next thing that we're going to want to do is click on Power Mode, and over here we want to type in Outline. Click Blog Post Outline, and then just go ahead and copy and paste your title, the tone that you want it in, and then go ahead and click Generate AI Content. After a few seconds, you'll be able to see that you will now have all of this text, which is basically outlines that you can copy and paste into your document. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up this one here. Okay, I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste it in like so. Okay, now these are 5 headlines that we can use to let the software automatically generate text under each heading. So let me just take 2 seconds to clean this up and then we'll get started. Okay, so I've added these hashtags here just to let the software know that, hey, these are headlines, so the software is gonna be really clever and basically detect that. Okay, so all I do from here is place my cursor at the end of this sentence, choose whether I want it medium or long or short. I'm just going to stick with medium for now. Go ahead and click Compose. Okay, and as you can just see, that's just created all of this text for us, just like so. Okay, but what if I wanted to add more? Well, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little hack within the software, which is 10 spaces. Okay, there we go. All those spaces are in. The Compose button has just been enabled, and I'm going to go ahead and press Compose. And there we have it. Okay, it's just added some more. Okay, so now you can see that it's actually written 1006 words, and if we just scroll down, you'll be able to see that they look like proper paragraphs. Okay, absolutely incredible. And remember, it uses AI technology to basically create well-flowing and pretty decent blog posts for us. Now, we've got to be realistic when we use these sort of AI copywriting tools to create all the text for us. Okay, now the last thing I want for you is to go and invest in one of these softwares and have the expectation that it's going to do everything for you first time and it's going to be amazing. No, and it will be really irresponsible of me to give you those sort of expectations or leave the video how I just left it. I want to be absolute with you when it comes to defining your expectations, and I think a good way of doing it is by understanding the 80-20 rule, or if you already know it, applying the 80-20 rule with this, which is 80% of the creation of these texts should come from Jarvis, but 20% should come from you, where you're tweaking it and just making it look nice or revamping it or using the features of Jarvis to make it even better. Okay, and if you have those expectations, if you apply the 80-20 rule with this, you're going to actually really enjoy this software. Now, with that being said, we have come to the end of this video, and if you've enjoyed this video and you would like to see more of it, go ahead and leave a like on this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.